Can you guys believe it? It's been 2 years since I first purchased the Tesla Model S Plaid. Let's get into this. So guys, I apologize if you get a lot of wind noise. I've got my mic set up for it, but it's windy out here. It's January, and we got a lot of cold wind, cold fronts coming through. We're supposed to get snow down here in South Carolina tonight, so we'll see how that turns out. But let's get to it. So 2 years, guys, it just blows my mind. I can't believe the time has flown by that fast. That 2 years have gone by since we bought our 2023 Tesla Model S Plaid Edition. So how's it been? How do we like it? What we don't like? Let's get into some of that stuff right now. And I'll tell you, over the 2 years, and you can skip the rest of the video, but I'm happy, man. I love this thing. It's been great. It's been a great daily driver. But why the Tesla Model S? And why the Plaid? Well, Model S because I wanted the 4 doors, the extra room, the extra space. I wanted a dash that actually had a display on it and not just a center stack like the other Teslas. And I wanted something that not everybody had. And the Tesla Model S gave me that. It's American made, it's made right here. Yes, some of the components come from overseas. Yes, there's been stuff in the media that's been dramatized, things with Elon. There's been ups and downs, and the EV market's been all over the place. So let's talk about how some of that has impacted it. As you guys know, if you go back into the earlier videos, I paid $87K from Tesla directly out the door. I'm the first owner of this vehicle, and I found it on a special. I was watching the website like a hawk, and this one popped up at a reduced price compared to all the others. So for $87K to purchase this car versus what it costs now, today, to buy this, I saved probably like $20,000 by buying it when I did. Prices on these have gone through the roof. They're super expensive, but they've fixed a few things that are wrong with it. But one of the positives about ours is we do have hardware 4 in it, which the year before, 2022s and earlier, have hardware 3. So with the hardware 4, we do get all the updates and all the FSD capacity and changes that are being released today. So it can do FSD, and FSD has been great. So let's talk about FSD for a little bit. So when we first got FSD, it was good. You know, when we got the car, we went out and we drove it, and it did a pretty good job. I would call it more of a spiced up or more advanced cruise control at that time. I mean, it did the lane changing and all that kind of stuff, and it would drive you to where you wanted to go, but it was still pretty sketchy and would do some weird things where you'd take it over quite frequently. But the latest version of it, and I won't go on and on about this because you guys have probably watched plenty of videos or read articles about it yourself, but the latest version is amazing. They gave us a free trial during December, and I don't think I drove myself anywhere for the month of December. I let the car drive me everywhere. It was fun. And yeah, it still made 1 or 2 mistakes, but overall, it didn't make any mistake that I haven't seen humans make. And it made them much more safely, let's say. But FSD has come a long way, and right now, it's pretty darn good, and I have no problems kicking back, relaxing, and letting it drive me where I need to go. Now, that doesn't mean I take my eyes off the road. I still pay attention, but man, am I far more relaxed when I get to where I want to go. And on long trips or busy trips, it's freaking great. I can't tell you how rested you are when you have to make a 10-hour drive somewhere for whatever reason. You get there much more relaxed. And where I found myself using it a whole lot was even on my short drive, driving home from work. When you've had a day and you're ready to just kick back and not have to worry about anything or think anymore, you just want to stop thinking, put it in FSD, let it cruise you home, let it stop and go in the traffic. It's great. I really, really liked it. I almost wish I had bought it when I bought the car. That's how good it's gotten. So another big question that everybody talks about or used to talk about, but maybe not so much, is the quality of a Tesla. And so 2 years, 11,500 miles, how has the quality been for me? Let's talk about that. And so for me, over those 2 years, I've had this many reasons to take it to a dealership or take it back to Tesla. 0. I've done nothing, but I've had to get tires. I've had to get the 2 rear tires, and I know everybody's gonna go, well, it's a Plaid, you're burning them out. No. I've been getting nails. And I covered that in a couple videos, but for the first year, towards the end of the first year, I replaced one tire and then shortly thereafter the other tire. So the 2 rears are still relatively new. They only have a year on them at best because of the tire replacement with the nails and screws getting in them. I thought I was cursed. But aside from that, I've had 0 issues with it. And when you're talking about quality, people talk about the gaps. I've had 0 adjustments to my gaps. I haven't had any reason to bring this in and say, hey, Tesla, do something about this fitment or about this quality. All of this has been flawless and all of it's original from the day I picked it up. I've had 0 issues with any of it. On the inside of the vehicle, I've had no problems either. Everything's all original, and I apologize, she's dirty. Usually I clean these up before I do videos, but this case, I felt I should show it to you as I drive it every single day. And tire wear. So the front tires, you can see the wear that I have on those. It's still really solid. Plenty of space on the wear bars. These are original. I haven't had nails, haven't had to change these out at all. But you can see it's holding up just great. So from a quality standpoint, I'll say that this car has been phenomenal. No oil changes, no battery changes, no battery issues, no computer issues, nothing like that. Just been maintenance free, driving and enjoying the vehicle. Now, you guys know me well enough that I'm a little bit crazy about keeping them clean, but that's my choice. I'm always washing, cleaning, waxing, doing those kind of things, because for me, that's how I find my sanity check and my stress relief. So that's a choice. That's not because the vehicle needed it, it's because I needed it. So let's talk a little bit about how we like and use the vehicle. So how do I actually use my Tesla Model S Plaid? A lot of people are, curious. Now that you've bought this, 2 years have gone by of ownership, and you're still driving it around, you still have it, which is surprising for me because usually I'm flipping my cars maybe after a year, sometimes sooner than that, just to see what else is out there and what else is new, and because it's a hobby of mine. It's what I like to do. I also like to bring you guys videos about the cars and tell you about them. But this one I've had for 2 years, and I know immediately I'm going to get that down there. You're already beep booping and putting it down in the comments down below. Oh, it's because of the value of the car. You couldn't sell it if you wanted to. That's not true. Maybe for some other Teslas, but not for the Plaid. The Plaid actually holds its value fairly well. And that's one part of the reason why I bought it, but not the major part. I'm just like any other guy out there. I bought it because I wanted the fastest one I could get. Let's just get down to it. I'm not gonna lie about it. I wanted a fast car, 1,000 horsepower for 87 grand, brand new, runs a 9.3 something in a quarter mile, 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. The new Corvette is freaking phenomenal, but I think I scored a hell of a deal. This isn't $250,000 to go 8 seconds. This was 87 grand to go 9.3 or under, and I think I won. But who am I to say? I don't have a grumbly engine in the background. It's dead silent. You hear the electric motors and that's it. I do love gas engines. I'm not here to knock them, but all those people who are knocking EVs, think again about it. This thing is great. It's a great bargain, and if you pick them up used, so let's get into that value. If you pick them up used, and you guys saw my last video where I was talking about the Sierra EV and possibly switching it up, the trade-in value for this right now, to be honest with you guys, is about 60 grand. So if I paid 87, trade-in value is 60 after 2 years, 11,500 miles, then I'm about 31% of my original value. For 2 years in an EV that has 1,000 horsepower, supercars, high-end luxury vehicles, they lose more than that. So I'd say this is holding its value pretty darn well. People are making too big of a stink about that. It's not true. They're holding value. But back to how do I use the vehicle on a daily basis? Most of the time, I'm just driving to and from work. And so I don't use a lot of the capability of this car or a lot of those features. Now, I can't say that truthfully because a lot of times I am darting to and from work, and I do enjoy a spirited drive to and from work from time to time when traffic and the commute allows that to happen. But I'm not out there doing 9-second passes or 1.9 second 60 foots. That's far and few between. But when I do need to romp on this baby to get on that freeway, you can bet it does it, and it does it with a big smile on your face. And every single person who hasn't experienced an EV, they go for a ride, we go to lunch or something like that, and they're like, punch it, man, and this thing will just take off and you see nothing but smiles. Everybody seems to love it. Does the speed get old? Heck no, the speed does not get old. So guys, I have to cut into the footage because I realized as I was editing the video, there's one piece of information that I didn't address that I commonly get asked. Is it too fast to drive as a daily driver? Is daily driving just ridiculous for something that has 1,000 horsepower? Let me address that real quick and say, no, absolutely not. It's not too fast to have it as a daily driver. There's all kinds of settings. If you go back to my initial review of this car, all kinds of settings in the software where you can change your power levels from chill to ludicrous or plaid mode and even drag strip mode, which honestly, I only used drag strip to launch it once and that was enough. It had my stomach up here in my throat, and even without that, it does that. It's plenty fast enough with that. Now, I do leave mine in the plaid mode and drive it daily like that, and it's very functional. It's not scary. It doesn't get away from you. If you put your foot down, it's gonna go. If you don't put your foot down, it drives just like any other car. It's very, very controlled. In fact, it's more controlled than most other cars, because if it feels it's slipping, it takes control and it doesn't let you get out of control. It's too smart for that. So as a daily driver, it's been awesome. The power is not too much. You can set it down. You can put parental controls on it. So even your child could go out and drive this thing and you don't have to worry about it. Just put it in the parental controls, limit their power level, and anybody can drive this thing. I would say this is way more controllable when you're getting on it and you are using the power than this is back here. This thing jumps all over the place. You really feel it lurch up and go when you get into the power. Where this is very, very controlled. On this, you're worried about the G-forces because there's a lot of G's that hit you that if you're not used to it, it'll get you. So if you're going from something that's very, very slow and then getting onto it and getting into a plaid, you better be ready for those G-forces. And I would tell you to ease into it when you're trying to drive fast, especially at a drag strip. Should only be at a drag strip, but hey, we're all humans. Bought it to enjoy it, drive it, and enjoy it. But when you're talking about using all this space, from time to time I've put things in here that I've picked up from like Lowe's or Home Depot or grocery shopping, things like that. But ultimately, there's so much space in here for my luggage when I do take it on a road trip. It's been amazing. And so for those bigger things, I just flip this stuff up, take this out, those seats go flat, and you have all that cargo space. And most of the time, this is what's in here. I have a spare charger so I can charge at work. I've got a jacket, I'll put my computer, my gym bag, stuff like that in here. But that's most of the use. There's a huge storage space in here if you go back to my original video. Try to pull this up a little bit, but that's what you got in there. Nothing. I don't use it. So it's got all this space for all these things, but I don't really use it. Got my safety kit in there just in case, never know. But it's very functional and utility. You can get things done and get things from to and from that you need to do. Even though it's got 1,000 horsepower and it's crazy fast, the utility is there. I will say one wasted feature, if I can go ahead and pop this open. Give me 1 second. So popping open the hood is the frunk. I know a lot of people use their frunks, but for me, I don't even know what's in here. Nothing. So sometimes during the summer, I'll have some detailing supplies in there for when we go to car shows so I can spiffy it up if we do that. But really, I almost never use this. I never have a means or reason or extra stuff to carry where I need to throw it in here, because this is primarily my daily driver and I'm just commuting, so I don't have much to put in there. If I am taking a vehicle where I need to carry things like that, I usually am taking the Bronco or the TRX for those kind of things. So the frunk, well, novel idea, and this is a huge space, guys, don't get me wrong, huge space, but this might be the 6th time that I've even opened this. I don't use it. Cool idea, don't really use it. So let's go ahead and jump inside and take a look at the inside. So I want to show you guys wear and tear. Again, I did not vacuum out, so I apologize for my mess here. But this is what she looks like after 2.5 years. Let me go ahead and turn down this music in here so we don't have any music playing. But I wanted to show you the wear and tear, 2 years of this vehicle and about 11,500 miles on it. You can see I don't even have a crinkle in the side bolster of the chair. No crinkle here. And you guys watch my videos. I'm not a little guy. I'm about 265 pounds. And I plop my big butt in and out of this chair. And you see no signs of me doing that, which is really good. I lay my arm on the armrest. Again, I have not cleaned it, but there's no damage to the armrest. It's still looking fresh, like it's brand new. Of course, the steering wheel, also no issues, no signs of wear and tear, still looking in great shape. And let's go ahead and I'll sit down in here and talk some more about the inside. All right, guys, so now we're sitting on the inside of the Plaid, and again, just to repeat, this screen, it just felt awkward driving vehicles that didn't have a center screen like that or a driver's screen like that. So I wanted to make sure that I had that dash here, and that's another major reason why I went with the Model S in particular, because it just feels comfortable having that there, being able to look at your speed and information there. I mean, I know that this screen right now is angled towards me, which is nice, and you can see a lot in it, but call me traditional, I wanted that there. So again, comment about being traditional, and I know I've probably been ranting and raving because it's hard not to as an owner. It really just, guys, I'm not making this stuff up. It's hard not to rant and rave about all the things you like because they far outweigh the negative that I've faced with this car. But what is a big negative? Turning stock. I know we have the buttons, but the buttons do annoy me. I will agree with people. Well, it's cool because it's newer and it's technology. The actual functionality of it is, it's annoying because you get so used to just flicking it up or down, depending on, you know, what vehicle you drive, could be on either side. But having that turn signal indicator on not on the wheel has been something that I continuously notice. But the other controls in here, I mean, it's Tesla, so all of this looks very simplistic, but really you can control your mirrors and you can control the volume and stations and all that kind of stuff through these simple little toggle buttons here. And when you first get your Tesla, it's new, so you're figuring it out. But after you've had it for a little while, it actually becomes second nature and you don't even think about it, and you can go through all the functions through that. Like all of your window wiper controls and everything are actuated by pressing the button and going and scrolling through for whatever selection you want on there. But since I mentioned it, that is another thing I don't like about it. The automatic window wipers. All this technology and all the great that it does have, and I won't rant again about FSD, but all of that and the window wipers, the automatic window wipers are still confused. They don't function very well, especially compared to other car companies who do have it figured out. Like the TRX, it will speed up and slow down based off of the rain, but the Tesla is sometimes confused and sometimes they never turn on, or they're on and there's no rain. It's just all over the place. So I actually do find myself manually controlling the window wipers more often than I should have to. And that's one of the things that is a negative mark on this vehicle. And going back to another positive though, the headlights. This particular model was produced with the matrixing headlights in the front of the vehicle. So what are matrixing headlights? Well, they're sectioned headlights, so when the beam goes out, you have a full grid. But then if you're driving at night and the automatic headlights are on, it will actually put the grid around the car in front of you, so you're not blinding drivers in front of you. And the same with drivers coming towards you. It'll section off the vehicle coming towards you, so it's not projecting that light into that driver's face. And you can literally see it doing it when you're driving. And for me, that's so fascinating. I'm definitely a techie nerd, and I love how those matrixing headlights do that and cut around the vehicles. And it's really cool to watch it doing it in real time as you're driving. So that's one of the features that I ended up really liking that came on later. So by coming on later, I think we should talk about that as well. So a lot of other vehicles, they don't change while you own them. They're the same throughout. But one of the big advantages that I believe Tesla has nailed and other automotive manufacturers need to get on board with are the updates that come out. So like the matrixing headlights, obviously the hardware was in the car, but the download and the update and how they work and them improving in their functionality has come over time as new updates and new uploads to the software come into the system and are downloaded. And those little updates and changes that improve your owner experience have made all the difference and are a big reason why I'm sitting here in this car today, 2 years later, talking to you guys about it. Because those updates and those software changes and all those improvements that keep coming have kept me interested. They've kept me connected. They've kept me engaged with the vehicle to where I don't go looking for another vehicle because I got bored. They keep me engaged with my ownership, and I think that's really important. As other cars, it's the same thing, get in, get out, nothing changes. But this one evolves as the software evolves, and that's been really awesome. So let's go back to questions about the quality. So quality from the driving standpoint, for 2 years, I know it's only 11,500 miles, but during that time, and I think I pulled this up and show you guys, so you guys can see 11,551 miles. So during that time, the quality of the drive has not changed. It hasn't softened up. The suspension has continued to adjust and be adaptable as I choose it to be. So I still have the ability to switch these things around and change the comfort level and everything, and it all still functions right. I haven't gotten any slop in my steering. The steering wheel is still spot on. There's no slop there. You still have the same feel as the day I brought it home. So from driving standpoint, nothing has changed. But on the negative side, and I've had this since day one, is a little bit of wind noise. And I never figured it out, but it's somewhere right through here of this A-pillar or something. I've always had just a smidgen of wind noise. If you have all sound off and you're just driving, you can hear it a little bit. But the car is so quiet transversing over the road, not much tire noise, still have the original P0s on there, that you hear things like that. And that's just a salute to the silence of the vehicle, how quiet it is to actually drive, that you notice that kind of little thing. And again, since we're talking about negatives and noises, I've always had the rear seat clunk. So if you guys own a Tesla or have ridden in them in the front seat, where the lock engages those rear seats that hold them up, you get a little clunk in there from time to time that you notice if it's silent in the car. So that's another knock. And I know there's a Etsy thing out there you can buy that puts a little clamp on there that essentially just tightens up that lock so it's not jiggling in there, because what that clunk is the locking mechanism. And if you get just the right action in the vehicle from the suspension, it goes, and you hear that clunk of of it clunking in that locking mechanism. So one more thing I did want to show you, I had that free trial, and during the free trial, they would actually show you the percentage of full self-driving versus normal driving you would do. I want to see if that's still in here. And it looks like I lost that when I lost the FSD in here. But there was a percentage in there, and I actually kept it at 90%. So during that 1 month of FSD for free, 90% of my drive was having the Tesla do the FSD driving for me, and only 10% of it is where I took over, which might have been me driving out of my driveway or down the street a couple of times, or vice versa, my parking deck. It did drive out of the parking deck, but the first few times I was afraid to let it drive out of my parking deck. But the second half of the month, I let it drive out of the parking deck every single time. It did it amazingly, which blew my mind because I didn't know how it knew to take left, and that would spiral you down through the parking deck to exit. So it's just, my mind's blown with some of that technology. It's really cool stuff, guys. So again, as I said earlier, I've had no reason to bring the Tesla into Tesla for any kind of issues, screen issues, anything like that. I wanted to point that out. So a lot of times people ask, well, how are the screens? Are those holding up? This screen is holding up great. There's nothing here. I haven't really, I wipe it every once in a while to get my fingerprints off of it, but this is the original screen. You guys are seeing it yourself, and all of these colors are looking great. No issues with it. You guys can see the color, the resolution, everything is fantastic. No issues there. So, it's really reactive, it's sensitive, it moves around. There's no issues with that. This being a 2023, everything's still super quick, super reactive. You don't have a delay. You can scroll around and it updates really quickly. I have no issues with it whatsoever. Super duper happy with the screen. And I know some people, they keep their screen facing straight back, but I tilt mine towards me because my reality with this car is I'm mostly solo driving this, with the exception of maybe taking a few people to lunch and whatnot. But I don't think you guys can hold that against my wife with her TRX. She wants to drive her TRX when she gets the chance to go out driving. So that's the biggest argument in the house. What vehicle do we want to take and why? And sometimes it just comes down to feeling like driving one or the other. So guys, what it comes down to, and the big question everybody always wants to know, would you buy it again? Yes, I would. At $87,000, I absolutely would buy a Plaid again. But would I buy it at $120,000? That's a tough sell for me. But I didn't pay that much. I paid almost $40,000 less than that. At $87,000, this was a hell of a purchase. So going back to a couple videos ago when I was looking at the Sierra EV, what's going on with that? Am I going to trade in for a Sierra EV? That's yet to be known. I'm still looking at them. There's some other functionalities and utility features the Sierra EV brings to the table that I would benefit from. I could use it for my camper, not just towing, but also for plugging it in for boondocking, having a battery supply. If I wanted to use my camper and I didn't have a connection for it somewhere, I could plug it into the truck. And that's a utility feature that I really like about the Sierra EV. It gets 410 miles of range on a full charge. It's very comparable to this on range, but it has twice the size of the battery. This is a 100 kilowatt battery, and that's got 205 kilowatts in it to do the same range this does. And well, this is more aerodynamic, it's more advanced, it's got a lot of better features. It constantly updates, you get those software updates. There's so many pluses for this that I just have not been drawn to pull the trigger and go to an EV truck. I love so many things about this, it's hard to give it up. And while the depreciation really isn't that bad at only 31% over 2 years, that's still a lot of depreciation. And $60,000 when I paid $87,000 for it, that's a lot of money over 2 years to have lost. And that weighs on me. So I'm not eager to get rid of it. I like the car, I like it a lot. So unless I find a smoking deal, something that I can't pass up, or somebody offers me much more than $60,000 for this car, it's gonna be here for a while because I really like it, and I can't think of a better daily driver to and from work and to and from Ohio when I have to head back for family situations that I want to give this up. I'm super happy with the car. I think it looks amazing. It's not aging. It cleans up super nice. I love the glass roof. I love the comfort of the seats. I know some people don't like the seats, but I don't know why, but they fit me just fine. And I'm super comfortable in it, even after those super long 10-hour car drives. So for me, it's hard to give this car up. It really is. It's real hard to give it up. I always want to bring you guys new content on new vehicles, but I don't want to let this one go. So I've had a few opportunities, but they just didn't get me over the edge yet. So for now, it's still here, and it's going to be staying until that right opportunity presents itself. So hopefully, if you guys are shopping a Tesla Model S Plaid, I've answered the questions you guys are looking for. If I haven't answered those questions, go ahead and beep boop those things down in the comments. You guys, I love answering your questions. I do read them all, and I do reply to all of them to let you guys know what you guys want to hear about, what you guys want to know about. I'm trying to answer those things for you. That's why I'm bringing this to you. I want to bring you guys solutions and honest information. This has been my experience. I've loved having this vehicle. I've loved owning it. I love the way it looks. I get a smile on my face every time I drive it. Every time I take someone for a ride, I get a giggle out of their reaction to the speed of this thing, because you can prep at someone all day long and tell them, hey, this is what it's going to do. This is what it's going to feel like. You better be ready for it. But until they truly experience it, they just don't get it. And I have yet to have someone who didn't have a smile on their face after experiencing this car. I really, really like it, guys. I think you would like it too. And with the bargains that are out there for the secondhand market, I think you guys would be crazy not to pick one of these up if you haven't done it yet. And even for those out there who are just EV resistant, go find yourself a Plaid. Go find a Plaid, test drive it, rent it for a week, borrow it, live with it, and then tell me what you think about it. Tell me if you hate it or not. Because I think it would be hard for many of you after that experience to come back and say, it's just garbage. It's just not true. It's great. It's not a gas car. You don't have to stop at gas stations. You do have to charge it, but you guys have seen my videos on that. The way it's worked out for me, I go and, on these long trips, pull into a charging station, plug it in to charge, go in, go to the bathroom, get a drink, get something to eat, come back out, and it's ready to go. And even if it's not ready to go, by the time I get through my phone and I'm getting all those check marks done, just checking in on all my apps and whatnot, get through the social media, by the time I'm done with that, the car's charged. In fact, the car's probably charged well before I clear out all those messages on my phone. So guys, nothing but a positive experience for me. I know there's some horror stories out there, but I'm the opposite. I've had no problems, no reasons to take it into Tesla, no recalls, no body work, no nothing, guys. Just been all good for me. So I hope your experience, if you were to buy a Tesla, is as good as mine has been. So guys, I hope this video answered all the questions that you have, but if it didn't, please put those messages down in the comments. I will circle back around and make sure that I review them and answer you. And I really do appreciate you guys watching the videos. Please like, share, hit the reminder bell, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.